Hey guys, what's up? Phoenix here, and I'm back again with something a little bit different today. So, as of 12 hours ago, it was posted on the Escape from Tarkov subreddit that the preliminary patch notes, as you can see, for patch 0.5.0, and this will kind of be the last patch before they go into open beta, or the last major patch at least. So basically what this video will be about is I'll be going over what's added in the patch, and some of the changes that they've implemented, and that's more or less it. So, as of recording this, the patch is not currently out. By the time it actually uploads, it should have come out either a few hours before, or it should be coming out soon. In terms of where its status is at as of this recording, the last we heard is about 2 hours ago. The development team was still working on it, although it's now 4 AM at St. Petersburg time, which is where Battlestate are based, so chances of them continuing work at the moment are quite slim, so they'll probably pick it up during the day. But anyway, we'll just go through what's been included, the changes, and some of the new pretty cool stuff. So to start off with, there are a few new guns in play. The SR1M, which is a pistol. I'll have a picture up on the top right of the screen somewhere. So that's just a new handgun. The AKM-S, AKM-N, which there are currently no photos of what they look like in terms of game rendering and all of that, but picture the AKM, it looks essentially the same. Then there is the RSASS, which is a designated marksman rifle. Again, there's no rendering photos of what the gun looks like at the moment, so I will just include a photo of what the rifle looks like in its actual state in reality. And that'll be really cool to see because the game is currently lacking pretty severely in terms of DMRs and things like that. Then the TOZ-106, which is actually a really interesting, I don't want to say rifle, it's a really interesting weapon. So again, there's no photo of what it looks like in game, but I'll pop one up on screen. It's a bolt-action shotgun, which is a really interesting addition. It'll be really cool to see how that works. You have then the REAP-IR thermal imaging system, or sight, it's technically a system, and that is, again, a pretty self-explanatory. It's a thermal scope, so I will have the photos up on screen. All of this information will be in the links in the description below, linking you to the forum threads with all of this information. Anyway, there is a GIF on this particular forum thread that is kind of shows off the scope a bit better. But yeah, overall it's a thermal scope that, from what we know, will cost roughly 1 million rubles and will have a limited sight line, so it won't be able to see people 500 meters away. Although, you know, that will be balanced out once the scope's actually been implemented. And something that I'm really intrigued, interested, and excited for is the OpsCore Fast MT Super High Cut Helmet. And what that means to most people is it's a modern day ballistic helmet, and I think it's graded as 3A. So it's a decently strength helmet. I think it actually outperforms the Kiva, which we'll be really interested to see. And what is also really cool is the helmet customization that comes with it. So as you can see in the top right, they have kind of just going through images slowly of the actual helmet. But there are also several attachments. There are mandibles, there are side armor, there's a helmet headset, which is essentially contacts. There's visor and face shield and all of this stuff, which is really cool, and it'll be really good to see something that modular in the game. Moving on, the number of inventory slots taken up by a weapon now depends on installed mods. Now, again, the next few points will kind of be based on this. So the way that weapons will now work is, for example, on the image you can see there is a PB pistol, which typically with the drum mag and the silencer only takes up 2x1. Now, because it's got an additional drum mag and a silencer, will take up a 2x3. So it's not quite dynamic, because theoretically if it were dynamic it would be 3x1 then 2x1. So it's not quite dynamic, but it does change a lot more based on the installed mods, which is an interesting system. It'll be cool to see how it works with things like items cases and weapons cases and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind, that your extra long shotgun's now actually going to take up 6 to 7 slots rather than its typical 5. Same with folding and unfolding stocks. You will now be able to fold a stock, which you can do currently if it's foldable, but folding the stock will actually reduce the amount of slots it takes up in your inventory, which will be a saving grace for some of you standard edition players. In terms of, this is kind of one of the bigger ones, and it's going to take a little bit of time, so I will actually come back to it, but spawns and extractions are being changed. I'll come back to that because there is a follow-up post that describes it a bit better. Headwear slots, again, there'll be a photo up on screen. You can now wear your bandana or ski mask or balaclava or whatever with a helmet, which will be really, really cool. Just adds that little bit extra of customization. There are, yes, you can combine glasses, masks, helmets, headsets, all that fun stuff. Dog tags, which is a pretty cool thing, and essentially works the same as it did in Battlefield. Basically, you kill people, there is a new slot with a dog tag, has their name, level, and affiliation, so Bear or USEC. And that's kind of just something that you can keep to yourself. How much space they take up, and all of that, or if they take up space, is yet to be known. But here's hoping that they don't actually take up any space. Otherwise, that's a bit of a waste. And a list of characters you killed during session, which there'll be a thing up on screen now, so it'll tell you when, how, and who you killed, which is really, really cool. It will hopefully that will be included when you die, so you'll know what killed you as well. So that allows you to better your performance. The rest of Shoreline is being included, which is fantastic, so we'll just continue to scroll, and I'll have some photos going over the screen now. So Shoreline is, so Shoreline's being expanded, so basically the second half of the map actually looks like it's more along the lines of 2/3 of the map rather than half. It's also going to have somewhere up to 30 players, is the current estimation of what we've been told, so it will become essentially the largest map in the game at the moment. And there definitely looks like there's a lot of new areas in it. There's some buildings that have quite a large buildings with quite a few areas for some close quarters combat. And there's also going to be, like there are now, some quite open spaces where you can get into some longer range engagements. So Shoreline is going to become really, really interesting. There are new Peacekeeper quests, there are new skill quests, which will be good considering Peacekeeper has yet to actually receive any quests rather. So it'll be cool to see what they do with those. Now, there are some new mental skills. Now, some of these skills have been in the game for a long time, they just haven't done anything, so you have been able to level them up. Although what they will do, their benefits and their all of that fun stuff, we currently don't know. Although there will be the addition of, or the actual working addition rather, of perception, attentiveness, and memory of which has been in for a while. So it'll be cool to see what they do. Currently there is no word. In terms of combat category skills though, they are being introduced as well. So you have pistols, SMGs, automatic and assault rifles, shotguns, DMRs, snipers, light machine guns, and recoil control, redesigned weapon mastering, and adjusted scopes and scope zeroing, which is kind of all tied together. So the new categories in terms of skills, which means it's going to be similar to how the weapon mastering works now. Basically, you use pistols, you kind of level up your control of pistols and all of that stuff, so that'll probably affect reloading and all of that fun stuff. Same with DMRs, and same goes. Recoil control will be an interesting skill to see how well and how much of an effect that actually has, and obviously this will all tie into the weapon mastering. What I kind of actually accidentally chucked in at the end there was the adjusted scopes. So obviously they may be a bit more catered rather than having a 24 times scope where you can see into the soul of whoever is murdering you as you desperately try to aim. And scope zeroing, which is going to be pretty cool as well. Now that Shoreline's become a big map, there's actually need for zeroing. So it'll be cool to see how that all works. Now, in terms of Terminators, the bots can now go prone, so we're fucked. They're going to be murdering us from bushes while we don't even know where they are. This is kind of cool though. While playing as a scout, you can actually use the gestures to interact with bots. Gestures like follow me, forward, stop, or should actually have an effect on the bot's behavior. So that'll be pretty cool. The sniper bot's behavior has been adjusted, although how, there's no word. Ambush point search, whatever the fuck that means, is probably bad for us. Fixed bugs, and then just bugs in terms of bots teleporting through the doors, which has been one of the biggest and most annoying things that have been occurring this last update. There are server optimizations, quote unquote. It's been happening every update, but whether it actually works or not, we've yet to see. And then just a relative list of bugs that have been changed, or fixed rather. So grenades mostly should be fine. Outdoor sounds in factory should now be indoor sounds, and allowed more than one item. One player to buy an item sold to the trader. Bug which allowed loading one into the chamber with loaded magazine. Bug with visuals of rain. Sorry. Container interruptions and just a few other things. Like bullets not going through chain link fence. Yay! Now this is actually pretty cool. These are some changes. So when completing time limited quests, when the conditions are not met before the time limit, when the conditions are met before the time limit rather, the timer stops and the quest can be turned in. Typically, if you did the Punisher level 6, or Punisher part 6 rather, got 25 kills in the hour with a minute left. If you got 25 kills and had a minute left, that time ticked down, so you were kind of screwed and you have to restart anyway. That's changed, so obviously once you complete it, it's done. Double clicking now opens containers, which is something that has been asked for and asked for and asked for months. So typically if you double click now, it brings up the item inspector. After the update, if you double click, it will open up the container. Hopefully that works with backpacks as well. Now when you drag an item onto the backpack, vest or container, it gets put into automatically, which is also a godsend. It's going to make stash management so much easier. And visually adjusted melee weapon strikes. So going back up, that's pretty much everything. However, we are going to address the spawns, which the lead moderator, Lewis UK, has been kind enough to put in a notice on the thread. So he's kind of gone over and basically said that all locations, with the exception of factory, will offer the opportunity to select your spawn zone if you have the map, which this is now really cool because it gives you a use for the map, which currently they're useless, because once you've played the map for an hour or two and know what you're doing, the maps are just, they're kind of pointless. They just sit in your inventory. But yeah, so for each spawn zone, there appears to be a corresponding extraction point. Some will be permanent, temporary, some will be open at a particular time, some will be closed, some may require particular items to evacuate. How these work, there's not really any information on how it works. It seems at the moment, from what that post says, and you should be able to read it on screen, it seems somewhat, I don't know, from my personal standpoint, it seems as though in theory it could work, and conceptually it could work, but in practice I don't think it's going to work as well as they're intending. So obviously though, the system's going to be tested, adjusted and redesigned. So you know, that's what the point of this is. So when you guys jump in, make sure to jump on the forums, jump on the Reddit, jump on the feedback tracker, and give your feedback of the new spawn system, because while it looks good in theory, I think it's good to have some healthy skepticism regarding how well it'll actually be implemented, considering there's no real compass or anything like that to direct you to a point that you may be able to get through. So that's basically everything included in the update. That's everything that's been included in the patch notes, at least. So like I said, this patch should be out either now or should be coming out very, very soon. Hope you guys enjoyed, hope you found something useful. If you've got any questions, queries, doubtful points, chuck them in the comment section below, and I'll try and fix you up and help you as much as I can. But yeah, so if you liked it, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. Anyway guys, take it easy, enjoy the new patch. I know I sure as shit will be, and I'll see you guys next time.